Good day everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss some of the names of acupoints. As you may know, most overseas countries, when they teach acupuncture, we don't really require you to remember the Chinese names. The reason because the acupuncture system that they taught in overseas countries, most of the countries we use the abbreviations of the meridian plus the numbers. So we use, for example, large intestine 4, 合谷, you actually need to remember LI4. The LI stands for large intestine and the number 4. But in this video, I'm going to introduce some names of the acupoints. The reason why I emphasize these acupoints is because if you know the names of the acupoints in Chinese, and if you know the meaning of these names, you will make sense of the indications. You also will have a better understanding of these functions, either functions or locations. So also through the discussion of these acupoints, you actually can learn different needle techniques in clinical practice. The first one is GP20, 分池, and 216, 分府. As you can see, these two acupoints share the same name, 分, or share the same surname in Chinese, because in Chinese, surname comes first. 分池 and 分府, they share the same words. 分means wind, 池 is a pool, and 府 is a mansion. 府 is a mansion, but it's even bigger than a mansion. When I say mansion, for example, the mansion in the other simplest term is actually a house, but this is a huge house. For example, the Forbidden City, in Beijing, in China, the stand of the Forbidden City is 720,000 square meters. So that's a palace. Another normal mansion for the imperial families or their relatives is about 20,000 to 60,000 square meters. So only this type of size of the houses we call mansion. So 分府, the second one, 分府, it means the mansion of the wind. So this is the big house of wind. 分池 is a pool of wind. Here is the big house. Here's also an example of a mansion. This image I took, actually, this is a very common house that's in South Africa. We got house, a building, we got pool outside. So when you understand these two words, when you understand the indications of these 2 points, as you can see from the name, 分, which means it can be used for anything related to wind, because this is start with wind. So it can be, when you talk about wind, it can be either external wind or internal wind. External wind, for example, common cold or flu. Due to exogenous pathogens, patient may have runny nose, may have cough, and sneezing, or patient may have skin disorder that's on superficial level from external. So this is something related to wind. Internal wind, for example, patients suffer from stroke, Parkinson, trembling. These are internal wind. And internal winds, we got different causes of internal winds. The most common reasons are the extreme heat, insufficiency, blood deficiency, etc. So these can cause, the internal disorder can cause internal wind, and we also have external wind. The reason why I introduced these two words is because this is exactly the same example. That's the pool and house. The pool stay outside of a house. So for example, even from here, this image, the pool on the side stay outside of the mansion. So which means 分池, the pool of wind, stay outside. So it can be used for external wind. 分府 the mansion, the mansion of the wind. 府 is a house, it's inside, internally. So you can see this 府 216 you can use for internal wind. So these 2 points, GB20 and 216, both of these 2 acupoints are suitable for wind disorder, any diseases that or any symptoms that relate to wind. But GB20 is more suitable for external wind, and 216 is more suitable for internal wind. That's why, for example, in a common prescription, for example, of common cold, flu, cough, asthma, we use GB20 often because this is for exogenous pathogens. We use GB20. And then for the stroke, and then we can use 216. But this is from theory that we can separate internal wind and external wind. But sometimes in clinical practice, sometimes it's very difficult to separate internal wind and external wind. So sometimes we use these 2 together, and when you use these 2 together, you can choose internal and external wind at the same time. In the meantime, we also need to remember that all wind is not suitable to use masturbation. The reason is because masturbation we use heat, we use fire. If you use on wind, related to wind, and then you can make the situation worse. It's similar to here. There's a fire. If there's some wind there, you can make the fire stronger. So it's very difficult to recover. So these points, sometimes, preferably, we don't use for masturbation, but you can use needle techniques. The second explanation for the acupoint is stomach 36. This point is very commonly used for tonify qi, for spleen deficiency, patients suffer from qi deficiency, fatigue. So if you want to promote general health, to promote immune system, to improve the energy level, this point is very commonly used for tonifying. The explanation for stomach 36, the Chinese name 足三里. 足 means foot, 三 means 3, 里. This is the common misunderstanding. That's why I explain here. Li is very common. The common misunderstanding is they say that nowadays in Chinese, li means mile. So 1 mile. So the common explanation for stomach 36 足三里 is because when you needle these points, you can walk another 3 miles. That's why you can tonify the qi of the body. But the fact is this explanation is wrong. So you should not remember or understand stomach 36 in this way. The reason is because among acupoints we have many other acupoints that have similar surname. For example, 拉均10 手3里 liver 10 足5里 heart 5 通里 etc. We have some other points also and with the same surname 里 足5里 足 as you can see from stomach 36 and liver 10 足 still the same. The foot 5 means 5 里. If you expand the 里 as miles, so 足5里 which means foot 5 miles, which means it should be better than stomach 36. You only have 3 miles. But the fact is stomach 36 is better than liver 10 in terms of tonifying. So the explanation li for miles is incorrect. That's why I put a big sum here. That's incorrect. The reason is because li, originally, the definition of li is actually families or neighbors. So in the old dictionary or text of Chinese characters, li, it says 5 families is neighbors. So when we call, for example, the neighborhood, how can we define neighborhood? In Chinese, we said 5 families together, we 5 families together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 together, we call neighbors, and 5 neighbors we call li. So as you can see, li is actually a unit for families, which means 25 families, as you can see here. With 25 families, when they gather together, we call it li. So nowadays, it's very similar. What we said is township, village, township, or city, or district. So a certain population, when they gather together, stay in one area, we call village. Many villages, when they gather together, we call township. Many townships we call together, and when they gather together, we call districts or cities. So li is actually a unit of the population, but from what does it mean by population is the gathering. So which means 25 families, when they gather together, we call li. So we call li. So which means here we see 25 families, they gather together. From stomach 36, we see that li is the qi and blood when they gather together on the foot. So the explanation for this should be gathering. That's also why, because the Yangmi meridian, the foot stomach meridian, is a meridian that has abundance of qi and blood, and when they gather on the foot is including the leg in the old text, and suddenly in the area, qi and blood gather together. That's why when you stimulate stomach 36 with qi and blood gather in a specific point, you can tonify qi and blood of the body. So this is gathering, not the miles. The next few ones, spring 10. The Chinese name is 血海. 血 means blood, 海 is sea. So 血海 is actually the sea of blood. These points can be used for any type of blood disorder. For example, for females, anything related to menstruation you can use, because it can be used for blood disorder. Apart from female problems related to menstruation, you also can use for the skin disorder. For example, itching, dryness of the skin, if due to blood deficiency. And then you also can use, if the internal wind due to blood deficiency, then you can use 216 and spring 10. So the combination of these two, one's from the wind point of view, the other one's for the root cause is if due to blood disorder or blood deficiency. So you can use to treat the symptoms, the manifestations, and the root cause at the same time. So this is how to combine these points in clinical practice. Spin 10 for blood disorder. So as you can see here, if you understand the terminology, the names of the acupoints, you will know immediately their functions. Stomach 40, there's not too much explanation for this. The reason why I mention here is because these points are important and you also need to practice more on these points. Stomach 40 is one of the most important points to clear phlegm. No matter physical phlegm or a visible phlegm or invisible phlegm, you can use. For example, visible phlegm can be cough, mucus, a lot of mucus, or blocked nose, a lot of mucus, runny nose, and these are visible phlegm, including thick coating on top of the tongue, also visible phlegm, thick greasy coating. All these are related to phlegm. The invisible phlegm may refer to many other diseases, or in clinical practice, sometimes we say weird diseases. So some diseases you can't find a reason. For example, depression, mental disorder, all these diseases, sometimes it's very difficult to identify what's the cause, or what are the causes. in this situation, you can use stomach 40 to clear the phlegm, because if phlegm cover the mind, and then patient may suffer from mental disorder. So you can use stomach 40. In Chinese herbal medicine, we have different ingredients or materia medica to clear phlegm, but in acupuncture, one of the most important points to clear phlegm is stomach 40. But when you treating phlegm disorder, you need to think about where does the phlegm comes from. So in the theory, we said the spleen is origin of the phlegm, the lung is only the container of the phlegm. So in your treatment, that's also why we focus on stomach 40, on the stomach meridian. The stomach and spleen are coupled meridian. We treating stomach and spleen. In the meantime, you also can combine stomach 40, stomach 36 to tonify spleen, to tonify stomach, to tonify the qi, to recover the spleen function, to clear phlegm. In the meantime, you add on stomach 40 to reduce phlegm specifically. So as you can see here, if you're using stomach 36 and stomach 40, you're actually treating the root and the manifestation at the same time. So this depends on the actual condition, and also depends on the severity of the case. Which one do you want to focus, or do you want to focus on both of these? Spleen 6. Spleen 6 is also one of the most commonly used acupoints that we use in clinical practice. Spleen 6, the Chinese name San Yin Jiao. San means 3, in meridians. Jiao means they meet together. So San Yin Jiao means 3 in meridians, they meet here, so they can't cross by each other. This is referred to the spleen meridian, the foot Tai Yin meridian, the foot Shao Yin kidney meridian, and then the foot Tai Yin spleen meridian. So the liver, spleen, the foot Jue Yin liver meridian, and then the foot Shao Yin kidney meridian, and then the foot Tai Yin spleen meridian. They meet in on this point, spleen 6. That's why if you treat spleen 6, if you use the point spleen 6 for one point, you can activate 3 meridians. That's also why in clinical practice, we actually prefer to use that's one point. Either they're meeting points or confluential points. Using one point, you can activate multiple meridians, have multiple functions. So spleen 6, because it can tonify in meridians, so it's commonly used for in disorder, for example, in deficiency. Then you can use spleen 6, including the insufficiency of liver, insufficiency of kidney. For example, insufficiency of kidney, the patient may suffer from weakness in the waist and knees, and then erectile with scanty coating, male's problem, female's problem. That's also why spleen 6 also quite commonly used in infertilities. Because it's also in meridians, the 3 in meridians. So for females problem, also commonly used. For menstruation, also commonly used. And you also can have the combination of spleen 6 and spleen 10. The reason is because, for example, for females problem, the blood deficiency also will have yin deficiency, because blood is part of the yin. So if you want to strengthen the function, you can combine spleen 10 and spleen 6, the two together, to tonify yin and to nourish yin and tonify blood. Especially for some patients suffer from yin deficiency, and if the patient suffer from deficiency heat as well, then you can add on other points, can nourish yin together with spleen 6. And kidney 3 is right here, Tai Xi. Tai Chi, we're going to expand these a few words later at the last few slides of this presentation to expand the meaning of Tai, of Xi. Tai. If you still remember when we talk about yin and yang, we say Tai Yang. Tai means big, so there's a big river. Xi is a river, so there's a big river, and this is here right behind the ankle. When we see acupoints, I hope you will try to understand or try to visualize the meridian and the acupoints. So when you see these points and the meridians, don't think that these acupoints are static. It's one spot by one spot on the skin, but rather to think about the meridian is a flow, qi and blood, they flow on the meridians. So for example, kidney, come from kidney 1 under the soul, and then come out from here, kidney 2, and go to kidney 3, and then make a circle and goes up all the way above. So you can see from here, this is a big gallery of a river. So the kidney, so let's just imagine that the kidney is yin is also kidney, the water, or the roots yin or root yang from the kidney. It comes out of the kidney 1, and then they travel all the way, they gather all the way, they gather more and more, they accumulate more on kidney 3, and then go distributes to the other parts of the body. So just think about it's not only the points, but the flow of qi and blood on the meridian. Kidney 3 is one of the most important points to tonify kidney. This is also yuan source points of kidney.